Hello, adventurer. Welcome to our Alien one-shot. As always, it is a non-explicit, story-driven horror one-shot. This one is going to be a little bit more horror-themed, so just disclaimer up front, beware of that. But if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and jump into this.
I'm so ready.
Also, please be patient with me. This is like my first time DMing. Okay. The year is 2183. The date is June 17th. Our adventurers, our crew, are aboard the spacecraft Lumina, the epitome of futuristic human spacecraft engineering. This sleek vessel seamlessly blends cutting-edge technology with ergonomic design, boasting a crystalline exterior that refracts starlight into a dazzling display of colors as it hurtles through the cosmos. Inside, a harmonious fusion of organic curves and minimalist aesthetics creates an atmosphere of tranquility and awe. Advanced propulsion systems propel the craft effortlessly through the vast expanse of space, while state-of-the-art life support systems ensure the comfort and safety of its crew during extended journeys. The Lumina is equipped with revolutionary artificial intelligence capable of navigating the depths of space with unparalleled precision and efficiency. From its observation deck, travelers can gaze upon breathtaking panoramas of distant galaxies, while its laboratories and living quarters provide a home away from home for explorers venturing into the unknown reaches of the universe. The Lumina is currently on track towards, let me pull up the star map.
Ooh. Yes.
You have left Sol about 8 months ago. You are on a colonization mission to LV-832, right here, Tycho 2 2000. It is a very far distance from Sol. And about a year and a half ago, there was a initial ship that was sent out to begin the colonization process and the terraforming. As we come into the ship, we come into the cryo chambers. The cryo chambers are nestled deep within the heart of the Lumina. The chamber is bathed in a cool, soft blue light that casts a serene glow across the room, creating an atmosphere of calm and quiet anticipation. Inside this particular cryo chamber, there are 12 sleek cylindrical pods are arranged in 2 neat rows of 6, each pod meticulously engineered with a cover that allows a glimpse of the slumbering occupants within. The glass-like material of the covers is frosted over, hinting at the deep freeze maintained inside the keep, the humans in a state of suspended animation. Each pod is equipped with an array of advanced monitoring systems, their softly blinking lights indicating the stable condition of the sleepers. Soft hissing noises and the gentle hum of machinery provide a constant, rhythmic background sound, underscoring the chamber's advanced life support systems. As the automatic revival sequence initiates, the temperature in the room begins to rise incrementally, and the frost on the pod covers starts to melt away. Inside, the 12 humans, each in a deep, dream-filled sleep, are gradually brought back to the brink of consciousness. Their bodies, once rigid with cold, begin to show the first signs of life. Subtle twitches, the faint rise and fall of chests, and the almost imperceptible flutter of eyelids. The pod's covers slowly retract with a soft whooshing sound, releasing a final burst of cold air into the room. A soft pulsing light begins to illuminate each pod, guiding the reawakening process. As the humans begin to stir, the chamber, once a sanctuary of stillness, comes alive with the first murmurs and movements of life emerging from the depths of cryosleep. So, you guys are all coming out of your cryo sleep. You have your teams with you, all inside of this room. And you can see, flashing on a screen, there is a message from the ship's artificial intelligence mother saying, arriving at LV-832 in 3 hours. As you guys all kind of groggily get up, begin to walk over to your lockers and do whatever it is you wish to do.
Is there artificial gravity?
Yes.
Okay.
Very similar to Earth's.
All right. Um,
If you would like to
I
introduce yourselves as well.
yeah. So the rest, I hope you give me some liberty here, Connor.
You guys
The
have
rest,
super creative freedom.
okay, you all awake to find as if trying to be faster than everybody else at getting up. A medium-sized man, probably about 5'9", 5'10", weighing about 185 pounds, is already on the floor doing push-ups. You can hear the sound of his metal dog tags hit the ground with every time he goes down and then up again. He has a buzzed sides of his head and a very, very short on top, like a salt and pepper gray black. And then just like a 5 o'clock shadow stubble coming in. He hasn't shaved yet. And as he's dripping the water from the cold off, he just doesn't say anything. He just cranks out 50 push-ups.
As Corporal Ramirez gets out of his cryo chamber, he looks over towards you. Well, Sergeant Reyes, really getting after it, bright and early.
And when I finish, I stand up and I look over. Ramirez, fall in.
Yes, sir.
And I look at him and I say, sir is the
Yes,
term we
sir.
use. Nope, sir is the term we use for useless people. It's yes, sergeant, or yes, sir, or yes, sarge. Is that understood?
Yes, Sarge.
That's right.
Deep sleep gets to you, Sarge.
And then I'll go make sure that Private Jenkins and Private Chang are getting up appropriately.
Yeah. Jenkins seems to be managing pretty well. Chang is puking furiously. As you all know, coming out of cryo sleep can sometimes be very, very taxing on your body. And he is not doing super hot.
That's all right, Private. All out. You'll get some chow in a minute.
Yes, Sarge. That would be much appreciated.
You just don't slip in it.
As Jenkins brings over a little bag for him to throw up into. Jenkins turns to you. So, Sarge, are we actually there?
I'm gonna go over to whatever monitor is alerting.
Okay. You can see that there's a screen in the middle of the room on a little pedestal to give updates, and it, sure enough, it says arriving at LV 832 in T-minus 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it appears that way.
Wow, I can't believe we already made it. Time to start anew, right?
Hey, we may be in a new place. You're still a Marine, all right? That hasn't changed. Don't let this whole idea about a new beginning get to your head, Private.
Yes, Sarge. Thanks for keeping me straight.
Grab your gear. I'll see you in mess in 15.
Can I say that while all this is going on, you see sitting out of the cryo chamber and slowly and meticulously putting on very well ironed clothes, everything kind of pristinely kept, is Marcus. And his hair, again, is well kept, a little bit long, but well kept. Everything is right where it needs to be. And he's going to kind of slowly get ready and listen to this conversation. And then walk over to the sergeant. Well, you do know that these cryo chambers, they do keep your muscle formatting all the same. You do not need any extra workouts. Your body is exactly as it was before, per the scientific machinery that goes into these.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
I drop down and do 50 more push-ups.
Well, if you wish to exort more energy, then you are more welcome to. He's going to kind of go back to straightening up.
And as I'm doing push-ups, I say, "Now is do these cryo do these machines elevate your heart rate, putting blood into your brain, allowing you to think quicker, faster? Does it get you to breathe heavier so that you can be ready to act at a moment's notice? These machines do that?"
Well, on the contrary, they actually slow you down in a significant amount of way that
Yeah,
your
and
body
then
has no change from when it picks back up. Your
And I
brain
get
is
back
exactly
up.
the same as it was when we left months and months ago.
And
There's
I
no
get back up
difference.
and I look like at I've got a little bit of a pump on now. And I go, "Exactly. That is a difference." And then I go, "Second squad, beat feet, 5 minutes to mess." And then I walk out.
They all say, "Yes, Sergeant." Salute you. Double time it. And Marcus, you can see the rest of your subordinates, your coworkers, getting out of their cryo chambers and getting ready. Caleb Walker, Ryan Foster, Alex Bennett, all present and accounted for, doing as well as can be. Being part of the research team, your team is quite used to coming out of cryo sleep. And go ahead.
I'd kind of walk over to him and walk up to Caleb, who is my second, and say, these Marines, they always come off so strong from their cryo sleep. I don't know what it is.
Yes, it's quite obnoxious, really.
Yes, well, this sergeant seems a little different. We should definitely keep our eye on him. Make sure he
As long.
stays within protocols.
Yes, of course. I mean, this far out in deep space.
Yes, it's so
Wayland,
far. Oh, sorry.
Wayland Yutani is the laws out here, whether they like it or not.
Took the words right out of my mouth, actually. Government has no form here, it's just the corporation. Agreed.
I must say I'm quite excited at the prospect of researching this new planet. LV-832 has showed quite amount of promise from the reports that have been sent.
Yes, I would agree. I believe that the atmosphere seems formidable. The land structures seem geologically plump with new materials. I believe that it is quite good for us to see what we can find there.
Yes, and from the sounds of it, the Omega facility is doing quite well. And you know that Omega, all of you would know this, is the name of the terraforming facility that was set up.
Yes. Have you heard anything back from them or any sort of welcoming committee that we will be hearing from?
Dr. Thomas, I just woke up from cryosleep, but I assure you I will get on that right away, sir.
Yes. Silly me. I forget sometimes. Thank you.
Absolutely. And he finishes getting ready, and I'll see you in the mess hall in a moment. I'll go check in.
All right. I'll see you there. And then I would head to the mess hall.
Okay. Zane, anything you want to do?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I would say Ethan would run over to his locker, just grab some of his things, some of the things that he probably wouldn't have had him on him in the cryo vat. You know, he has his lucky red hat that he wears, a little baseball cap, and he has like puts on his clothes. Right, he has a little shirt with a little pocket in there, and he sticks his pen, a little notepad, and a pair of glasses that look way too small on him.
And as you are doing that, one of your subordinates, Oliver Smith, comes up to you.
It's good to see you, Ethan. I'm quite excited for what we're gonna find down there. Hey, but could you look at this?
And he turns a tablet around, and you can see that it is a correspondence from Wayland Yutani about how there has been no communication from Omega in about 3 to 4.5 weeks. They've had sporadic messages, but they've all come in jarbled and incomprehensible.
Do you think they're having issues with their communication systems?
Yeah, they look so. We'll have to take a look at that. I'm sure it won't be a problem for our team.
I love you so much. I'm sorry. Also, I know I said I wasn't going to do voices. I can't help
I
it.
was just you did voices
for every single
one.
I can't help it.
And you've been doing fantastic at it.
Yeah.
I really look up to your confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sure that, we'll get down there and we'll help them get everything sorted.
We'll do the best that we can. Right. That's what we've been trained to do.
Yeah, that's right.
And just then, coming over the intercom system, you hear, "This is Captain Sullivan. I need everybody to report to the mess hall immediately. On the double."
That sounds kind of serious. We should probably get going.
Yeah, we should probably go. You happen to know where they have breakfast around here?
If I had to guess, probably the mess hall. I'm pretty sure the Lumina is equipped with those fancy food processors. You know, it's like a
Food processor.
Yeah, it's like a buffet. You get whatever you want whenever you want.
All right.
And he goes into the details of how that all works and the intricacies of how it's generated and where it comes from on the way to the mess hall.
Okay.
So as you guys all arrive in the mess hall, there's about 50 other colonists that are just general helping hands, plumbers, electricians, cooks, seamstresses, all sorts of different occupations. There's families, you know, maybe 5 or 6 families with little kids all running around, and everybody is finding a seat in this big open mess hall with just rows and rows of tables, enough to seat about close to 100 people. And walking into the room on the far side, you see who you all know to be Captain Sullivan. He walks in, and he's a very chiseled man. He's young, but he is wise beyond his years. And as he comes up and says, "All right, everybody, calm down, quiet down. So, as you all know, we are about 2.5 hours, give or take, from reaching LV-832, or as the colonists there have decided to call it, Aridus Prime. Not the name I would have picked, but they got there first. The unfortunate or complication in all of this is that I have just received contact from Weyland-Yutani that's about a week and a half old, and they have not heard or gotten any full communications from the Omega facility in several weeks now. They are not thinking that it's anything serious, but that it's just a mere communications error chalked up to the storms taking out a communication relay or two. Oh, go ahead.
This is a player question.
Okay.
How I know that there are necessary colonists in this room. How many colonists does the ship Luminous have on it entirely?
The total would be about 100. I would say there's about 75 of you that are colonists that are going to stay here.
Okay.
And there are 25 that are solely assigned to the Lumina and will return with it back to Sol.
And then how many colonists have already made it to Aridus Prime?
About 80.
Oh, so not many.
Not too many. You guys are only the second wave of people that have ever been to this planet.
Okay.
This is a brand new terraforming within the last year and a half.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So, Captain Sullivan continues. I don't want anybody to worry. It's unnecessary at this point. However, let's be on our guard. Researchers, military, colonial marines. That's what you are. Researchers, colonial marines, and especially you software engineers and you software intel guys. I'm going to need you on the first drop ship down to Omega to try and help figure out whatever is going on down there. The other ships will follow shortly after. But let's get down there. Let's try and get communications back up with these people. And then we'll settle into our new life of terraforming and, well, I should say you all will settle into your new life. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, Ethan Carter. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I was just curious if they'll have mangoes on the planet. I really like mangoes. Think they grow there.
I
Just starting a
honest-
new life there and all.
you
Just
know,
settle in.
I don't know if there is, but I imagine, the first group of colonists that came here brought a bunch of supplies with them, seeds, plants, spores of mushrooms. So I imagine out of those 80 people, there's at least one that likes mango. I bet they'll get you a mango.
I appreciate that. That's all my
Absolutely.
questions.
Anybody else? You see everybody just kind of looking around. No. All right. Well, we'll be there shortly. Everybody get some chow in you, get some food, get your stuff together, head to the drop ships in the cargo hold. And best of luck to you. Me and the crew of the Lumina will stay up here and we will orbit the planet until we receive word back from you guys that everything's a-okay.
The Marines are pretty much already done with their chow. They got in there early.
Nice.
And I'm gonna get up with Private Chang, and I'm gonna walk over to wherever Ethan, whatever his last name is,
Carter.
Carter is.
Mhm.
And I go, "Are you Carter?"
Yes, I am.
It said in the dossier that you spent some time in the Interstellar Navy as a medic.
I sure did. I served in the 52nd Battalion.
Yeah, some good boys over there. We had a couple Navy medics attached to our regiment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bunch of morphine junkies, if you ask me. They like to dip in their own supply.
yeah, well, hopefully you won't do that for us.
No.
Now,
No, I keep it clean.
good. All right, Private Chang, you mind explaining to Doc here what's going on? Ever since he woke up from cryo sleep, it seems that he just, I don't know what's wrong with him. He just seems
Yeah, let's
sick.
hear it.
I just got this bad stomach twist, motion sickness constantly.
Oh, okay.
It's my first time too being put to sleep.
This is purely precautionary. I have to ask these questions. And he takes his pen out and puts his little glasses on, takes a little notepad out, gives a little click on his pen.
Uh-huh.
Have you, in the past few weeks, found out that you are pregnant?
No.
We'll answer him.
Okay,
No.
well, that checks that off. You said you had motion sickness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I'll have to consult some of my textbooks. And then
Okay.
I'll yeah. Anything else? Any other symptoms?
No, I just feel like I'm spinning all the time.
Just really bad spins and tummy aches.
He runs over to a garbage can, opens it up, and just starts heaving into it again.
Okay, that's not good.
Oh, hopefully it'll go away in a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe I'm not cut out for this space travel stuff.
Drink some water. I'll try to get you some morphine. Actually, would I have like a little bit of morphine, like a little kid of morphine? Like I'm not gonna give, like dose homie up,
Yeah,
like
no,
you
you
give
have
a little.
motion sickness. Here's some morphine.
I know. He's like, I'm really sick to my stomach. You're like,
No,
morphine will help.
no. We keep it clean. Motion sickness. I got some morphine
I
if you
keep
want
it clean.
it. Yes, you would have a medical kit with everything that you need.
Cool. I'll just go up to him, give him a little bit of the fiend,
You
Whenever
really?
he's in the trash can, I'll just kind of pin him with something.
I
That's
want to try and stop him from giving this marine morphine.
Hey, make a make me a. Let's see. Let's do an observation.
Who? Me?
Yeah. Actually, make a mobility. Make a mobility check for me.
Mobility. Boom.
Easy. You just need one success.
I got 2 of them.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. As he reaches down into his little medical kit, and he pulls out a syringe with a you're very familiar with these, having been
I've
in
seen 'em
war
before.
multiple times. You've seen them
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
Before he can even get his wrist all the way up, you reach over and grab onto his wrist.
Look, Doc,
What's the big deal?
can you just give him like a patch or something to help with the motion sickness? I think this is a little
Like a
unnecessary.
nicotine patch?
Huh?
Like a nicotine patch?
You know what? Maybe we'll just try and get some coffee in him, see if that holds it down. All right, Private, let's go.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarge.
You're gonna see that Marcus is gonna kind of be at a table kind of around this and stand up and say, well, look, I don't think any of those things are going to help him. He just needs to ride it out. It's just a state of late-term Christosis.
I
It
agree.
happens
It's
all the
just
time.
he's kind of being a sissy is all.
But listen, like, if you could just sit him down, get him some water, maybe get him some food,
Sure.
he'll perk right up.
Sure, I mean, if we had any real food in this place,
But don't you...
this synthesized garbage isn't doing anybody any favors. And you look over the table of the Marines that are just playing with the scraps of the 3D printed mush that is bacon and eggs flavored.
I've heard that bug juice is pretty nasty stuff. This should be much better than what the Marines are used to.
Nice. Anyway,
It's true. A lot of this food is made from garbage. It is reprocessed, just recycled scraps turned into other scraps.
Knew it.
Tastes like the thing.
Tastes great. Yeah.
You know what it's made out of.
Yep.
It's just made out of anything recyclable. So, is there anything you guys want to do? There's about 2 hours till the drop ships are gonna get a head out.
I will take second squad. We're gonna go to the armory, and we are going to do an inventory to make sure everything is still here from when we went under, because the guns would not be out. They'd definitely be under lock and key cross space journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll outfit for the drop.
Okay.
And before I do, actually, I'm gonna send. Sorry, Ramirez.
Yes, Sarge.
You take Jenkins. You go to the armory and you start an inventory. Make sure that we're full up on weapons and ammunition. And I look around. Maybe we don't offer any extra weapons to anybody who we don't think needs them. But I'm gonna go try and get more information from the captain, and we'll see what we need to take down with us.
Roger that, Sarge.
And Chang, you just stay here for a minute. All
I
right.
think I think I'm starting to feel better.
Okay. Yeah. You drink more coffee. I'll meet you in the armory. Don't do
Roger
any
that.
heavy lifting till I get down there.
Roger that.
Is the captain still here, or would he be up at
Yes.
the bridge?
Yes, he's just kind of going about the people, a couple families are coming up asking him questions and of what to bring and all this type of stuff. So he's about.
Okay. Captain.
Ah, Sergeant Reyes, good to see you. What can I do for you?
Question. This captain is more like just like a private pilot. Like he's not a part of the military, right?
No, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is hired by Wayland Yutani.
Right. He's the captain of the ship, but he is like a private contractor.
Yes.
Okay. I shake his hand.
Shakes your hand back, firm handshake.
Sorry we didn't get to know each other a little better before I went under. It's important to know your leadership.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing out here. I mean, it's takes a big man to leave behind what he's comfortable with and move out here. I mean, I can't
Well,
even say that I'd do it myself.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Captain. I'm not leaving much. I mean, marine life is the same here as it is in Seoul, as it is anywhere else in the galaxy. And it sure beats landing drop ships on United People's Republic
Yeah.
combat ships.
Yeah, at least
I
you
will
know
say.
that you're gonna have stainless steel toilets and bunks. So,
Hoorah. If you have a minute, Captain, I'd like to speak to you privately.
absolutely, let's head to my quarters.
Okay.
And you exit the mess hall and head to his quarters. And as you enter, so what can I do for you?
As you understand, my outfit was attached to this colonial outpost as minimal security and policing for the colonists here until a larger force can arrive.
The sergeant.
That being said, I think it's my obligation to make sure that this first drop ship is well outfitted and prepared for the worst.
Okay.
Is there anything that you know, any potential dangers we might be walking into? I know that you said that they've lost contact for the last 4.5 weeks.
Well, according to Wayland Yutani, they have had a couple transmissions come through from and he pulls out a little tablet, a Dr. Alexander Kane. I guess he's, I don't know, somebody down there that's kind of important. But everything's come through kind of jarbled, not really coherent. They're just chalking it up to, one of these bad storms that they get here on LV-832.
Mm.
As far as I know, there's not much danger headed our way, or headed your way. But I think you're a wise man to want to be cautious. And I fully support your decision. If you feel the need that this group needs to be outfitted, by all means. We have a store of extra rifles, pulse rifles, flamethrower or two, shock batons, whatever you need. And you would know that even though this is a transport exploration spacecraft, there is a fairly well kept armory on it.
Mm.
Obviously, I can't send you with everything to keep, but at least you could take some extra stuff down there with you for the initial landing. But I would need to have you send it back with one of my pilots as soon as is convenient. Like I
Alright.
said, we'll be orbiting for however long it takes to get the team down there and get the communications arrays back online.
Affirmative, Will. Thank you for your time, Captain.
Absolutely. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, Sergeant Reyes.
Will do.
He shakes your hand.
And I'll go back down to the armory.
Okay.
Get back up with my unit.
You don't have to give me specific, like 3 pulse rifles and 2 shotguns and
Um,
how outfitted do you want to get? Obviously, you can't take everything, but
no, from what I'm assuming that there's already a detachment, a small detachment of Marines down there.
yes.
That would have some equipment.
Yep.
And I would ensure that all of my men have a rifle.
Okay.
And we would take, yeah, honestly, that's it.
Okay.
I don't think we'd take anything else. I think everyone would have a rifle, extra ammunition.
Perfect.
I'm trying to make a decision. Sorry.
You have creative freedom.
I know. I'm trying to decide. Just as a precaution, we would take.
You can always roll for it.
Roll for it.
Oh, to see if I want to do it or not?
Yeah.
Or to see how much of what we take. Oh, whoops, natural 20. 20 hand grenades.
No, I'm trying to decide realistically what my character would bring down. Because I think he is cautious, but he's not going to, take the whole
Yeah.
arsenal down there, right?
We're going to take 6 extra pulse rifles. Oh.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
Gatling gun and 10 bombs, right?
Whatever. Like I said, I will work with you. You have creative freedom.
Okay, we're going to take 1 flamethrower.
Okay.
As a
Perfect.
precaution.
Perfect. And you know that these flamethrowers are not just like a industrial, but they are military grade flamethrowers. They are incinerators. Basically like a big plasma torch.
Heck yeah.
It's that military kicking in.
That was close.
It was close. You're going to say hello.
Yep, I was. And then I switched it to heck yeah.
Okay, anything else anybody wants to do specifically?
I would mostly just debrief my team.
Okay. And as you gather up your team, your second in command, Caleb Walker, Dr. Walker. Dr. Thomas, you should really see this. This is quite fascinating. And he turns around and you see that there are several transmissions from messages received from Omega to Wayland Yutani. And they are talking about some of the findings that they've had, specific coordinates. And as you read through the coordinates, you realize that they are incomplete. And some of these messages cut off about halfway through, talking about discovering new something. Can't figure out how to remove. Working on, and the messages are just coming through kind of jumbled and garbled, and you're making out bits and pieces, but you get the general idea of they've made a big discovery, but you're not sure what it is.
Okay.
It looks quite promising.
Yes.
Too bad they're Go ahead.
That looks quite interesting.
Yes, I'm very excited to just get down there and see what it is.
Yes, me as well. Make sure to keep this hush. And
Absolutely.
I don't want the colonists to get spooked. That there's something going on.
Yes, I mean, obviously they are having problems with their communications, so as far as we know, that's the only problem. But we'll keep it hush.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to go gather my things and meet in the cargo hold. I'm very excited.
And he scurries off, gather his things. Okay. So,
Oh, I was just
What do you-
gonna say I'd like to go and find the Dr. Ethan, the technology specialist or whatever.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
the medic and tech
Ethan would be-
specialist.
Yes, the medic and the
Over.
tech.
He'd be
Med tech.
rounding up some of his tech equipment that he carries around with him. Some little handheld devices, that he can keep on his like waist. And then he has like this one like strap that goes over his neck that holds a whole laptop that stays up to where he can have hands-free things go. He can
Nice.
do things with his hands, but there's like a laptop right here. He has like a couple other weird little gadgets and such, and a little Bluetooth top that
Nice.
comes from his ear.
Yes, Dr. Ethan. Ethan Carter it was, correct?
That's me.
I was just wondering if you've heard anything back from the team below about the communications array.
Well, all I've heard is that communication's been kind of spotty. We don't really know what to think of it yet. Still kind of working on it.
And you believe that you and your team could fix this so that communication could continue to Wayland?
Let me put it this way. I'm a great medic, but I'm excellent at technology.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
So yes, I have a stand-up team. They'll do a bang-up job.
Excellent. And please, if you hear any word, please let me know. I'd love to work closely with your team on this.
Sure.
And then I'd kind of just return back to my table and continue to clean up and get ready to go.
And a little bit after you have this conversation and return and kind of clean up, all of you gather your things, gather your materials that you need, and you hear over the Lumina's intercom system, Dropship 1 is ready to row. T-minus 5 minutes. Everybody on Dropship 1, head to the cargo hold now, please. And you know that your guys' teams are all part of Dropship 1.
The Marines are already there. They've been
Yep.
there for 10 minutes.
They would be. Perfect.
Hey, Connor.
Yes, sir.
Is there a way that I could get my hands on, get Ethan to start working on, this problem that's going on with communications, maybe corrupted files or...
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do I need to do that? Yeah.
Let's see.
Obviously, this is a little bit metagame, but I know that, there's the whole thing going on with,
I love it.
But he would obviously start poking around in databases and finding out what's going on.
Yeah, I would say that you have access to using Lumina's communications array. And
Right, so ingoing and outgoing messaging.
Yes, using your little laptop, you log into the system and you begin to try and figure out any bugs, whether there is transmissions getting through, whether there's transmissions getting received. Go ahead and roll me a Comtech check.
You got it. You got it.
You're going to be looking for
Oh, I see it.
4 successes.
I did not
Okay.
get 4 successes.
So, you don't fully understand what is wrong, but you do get the knowledge that communications are being received from your end to their end, but they are not being received from them to you.
So we can get messaging to the planet, but not vice versa.
Exactly. And you're not sure why, but you're going to keep at it.
Right.
While the Marines have been standing in front of the dropship getting ready, we have everything that we are going to be taking. So the Marines are rucked up. They've got big backpacks on full of all their gear, pretty much everything that we would need to be here. And I would assume that the military has like their own communications that they use separate from Wayland Utari or whatever.
Utani, yes, you
Utani.
do.
And okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I was just gonna say I will have been trying to radio the Marine detachment on planet this whole time while we're waiting to get on the ship.
Okay.
Drop ship specifically.
You do that and you flip through channel after channel after channel after channel, and you get nothing but just static. But you also know you're pretty far from them.
Yeah.
So you're like right in that you might be close enough, but you might be out of range.
Yeah. I will stop for now, and I will try again when we're on the dropship, like entering the atmosphere.
Yes, and I should clarify. The military all has separate communications, but all of you guys, through your suits that you are given, all have communication with each other.
Sweet. And what is this?
And you can make that individualized as well. It's not just like an open floor group chat.
Right.
You can communicate one-on-one with specific people.
With the ship.
And with the ship. But the military has their own separate system, not from Wayland Utani.
Okay. Is Marcus there?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I got like 9 characters around my head.
Yeah, we would probably be showing up about 5 minutes early, you know.
Okay. And as I'm cycling through the channels, you know, as they're getting the ship ready, I'll walk over. So, what sort of atmosphere should we expect to be landing into?
Well, by our calculations, they should be fairly stable, as the colonists have had time to begin their filtration work on cleaning it. But being that communication from us to them are not completely accurate, we can't know specifically, but they should be fairly well off to use. Is there something that I can, would I know anything or be able to look up anything to get more of an exact answer on that?
You would know that they have definitely started to make headway on cleaning the toxins out of the air and such. They've got it from about 90% toxicity down to maybe 55%. So the atmosphere is not breathable, but the storms are less frequent than they have been in the past.
Okay.
But every once in a while, it just really, when the conditions are just right, it just gets crazy down there. Crazy storms, winds, but it's getting better, and they're
Okay.
making progress faster and faster.
And I would kind of, as I'm talking to you, I would kind of pull out my little data pad that has its notes and things, and well, it appears we're getting an update. Yes, their atmosphere is nearly clean. It's not yet breathable, but the storms have seemed to cease. So we should hopefully be getting a nice, easy landing.
How long would somebody have without their suit?
Connor?
Not long. I mean, about as long as you could hold your breath.
Okay.
I mean, the air is not breathable at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe about 20, 30 seconds. It depends. How long can you hold your breath?
A long time.
Well, then maybe you'd last longer than others.
Mm. All right, well, if you'll be so kind, because we are entering in a communication dead zone, we don't know what we may or may not be getting into. Me and my men will be the first ones off the ship. We'll make sure everything's safe and sound for you and your equipment to offload, along with the software engineers, the electrical crew.
I appreciate it. It appears that you are well equipped. But curious, what do you expect us to be getting into? This is just a simple colonizing facility. You appear as though you are armed to the teeth.
Well, my objective was mission security and to protect the American colonists that will be making their way here. You just said yourself that the storms are nearly ceased, which leads me to question why the communications are still down. I'd just rather lend on the side of caution than not. My gut is telling me that we should just be a little careful.
Well, fair enough. I do.
And if I was truly worried, then we'd all be holding rifles right now. As I gesture to everybody here, not just the Marines.
Well, let's hope that this never gets to it. I'm sure a storm
sure it
just
won't.
came through and knocked out an array of some kind. But they do tend to happen from time to time. But I guess your cautious approach is much appreciated.
Better be prepared than caught off guards.
Yes.
Are we all in the same pod? Like we're all in the same room?
Yes.
Oh. I was
Unless you want to do something.
no, not particularly. I just thought
Okay.
I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, you guys are the initial. You know that the other drop ships are not far behind you, but you guys are the initial team. You are the specialists that are getting sent down to help get whatever's going down on Omega, the problem solved the quickest. But that the other colonists will be not far behind you.
Gotcha.
Hey, is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
I do believe that it is getting time to depart. If we would enter into our shuttle now, we can make it down to the planet's surface. As I kind of gesture to my team and kind of those around me.
So as you guys enter the spaceship hold, um, sorry about that. You see before you a sleek and smaller spacecraft, and there is a man standing outside who gives a big wave. And as you all approach, he introduces himself. Well, I'm Captain Johnson. I'll be your pilot today. Everybody just go ahead and file in, find a seat, secure your gear. Nothing loose floating around. It's a little bit of a bumpy process if you've never dropped into a planet before. So everybody hop on inside. And he leads the way through the back ramp and makes his way towards the cockpit. And as you guys all file in, find your seats, secure your gear, you hear him come in on over the intercom. Go ahead, double check your seatbelts and everything. We're going to be dropping in about 10 seconds. Then
Do any of my guys look nervous?
Jenkins looks terrified.
I'm going to look at Jenkins and I'm going to say, "It's all right, kid. Flex the muscles in your legs, tilt your head back, and for God's sake, don't vomit. There's no way to drain it out of your helmet.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my
Don't
best.
worry. It's way worse if we're dropping into combat. This will be a smooth ride."
And then
Really?
I like hit myself on the helmet, and then you see that I like stretch my legs out really tight and flex really hard, like I'm at like I'm preparing for like one big deal, and then I just hug the harness.
And just as you do that, Jenkins cranks his head over to look at you and says,
No.
"Really?" And then the ship drops suddenly and his head gets thrown back into the seat and he just begins to scream as loud as he possibly can. You guys free fall for probably 2 minutes before you begin to feel this spacecraft begin to level out. And as it does, you are all sucked down into your seat with the G's. And Sergeant Ray, as you look over and you see Jenkins completely passed out, just limp, head down, flipping around, you can tell he's going to be in some pain when you get down there. You hear, as you begin to descend lower in the atmosphere, Captain Johnson come on the intercom. Well, everything went smoothly. I hope everybody back there is doing okay. We're going to be at Omega about 5 minutes. Shouldn't be too long. Might get a little bumpier as we get into the upper parts of this. Aridus Prime. Tends to be some storms, but it should smooth out as we get a little bit lower. And after about a minute, sure enough, the spacecraft begins to rock back and forth with some violent turbulence. And you hear Johnson come over the intercom again. And the ship begins to descend lower and lower and lower. And finally, after a couple minutes, you break through these storms. And you can see out of the small portholes that are on each side of this craft a desolate, dark, barren wasteland of a planet. For as much years as they have put into terraforming this, it is just on the brink of beginning to grow life and such. And as you fly for a couple more minutes, you then see out of these portholes, as everything begins to smooth out in this spacecraft, the terraforming facility Omega. Captain Johnson comes on the intercom. Hey, we're gonna do a pass around real quick, just so everybody can get a idea of what it looks like, and then we'll go ahead and land her down. And sure enough, he begins to circle around the top once or twice over this facility. The terraforming facility Omega is starkly evident, casting a shadow of mystery and unease over the barren landscape of Aridus Prime. The once orderly arrangement of box-like structures now appears to be... Sorry, I had two songs playing at once. Now appears disjointed and ravaged, their silhouettes marred by the scars of a violent assault. What were once sturdy, gleaming buildings are now marked by gaping breaches and collapsed walls. The extent of the damage discernible even from afar. As the wind sweeps across the desolate plain, it carries with it a haunting stillness, punctuated by the occasional groan of twisted metal and distant clatter of loose debris. The facility's communications arrays and sensor towers, once proud sentinels, now stand crooked and shattered, their lights extinguished. The enclosed walkways, which had linked the facility's components like arteries, lie in ruin, twisted, broken, and eerily silent. From this vantage point, the scene is one of chilling desolation. The quietude that envelops the facility suggests a story untold, a mystery lurking beneath the surface. It is as if the very land holds its breath, keeping secrets of the terror that unfolded within the now silent, broken structures. And you guys... Go ahead.
As the ship is doing the circle, I think I would have actually unbuckled
Okay.
and like stood as close to the best like porthole or window, whether that's on the door or whatever, so I could get a
Okay.
better idea of what is down there.
Okay.
And then-
You can... Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go.
You can see that there is a large section of this facility that is in complete disarray, but you can also see in certain sections that there are lights. There are still walkable walkways. There are still pathways connecting that have not been completely destroyed.
Have I seen combat before?
For sure.
Okay. Does this look like that? Does this look like man-made? Does this look like a conflict of arms? Does that make sense? Like, do I see any traces of a foreign enemy?
Make an observation check.
Okay.
Hey, I will say this does not look like the typical warfare that you have seen. There is not... The damage doesn't look like it is from artillery. It doesn't... You don't see any outside presence of any type of military establishment. There is... I mean, the outside of the facility, it is just a barren wasteland. There's no pockmarks of shells or any of that such.
A lab coat.
Yes.
Could storms do this?
Kind of peer out the window. None that
Is
I've
that
ever
weather?
seen before, but it seems interesting. Usually, if it's a storm, it has equal amounts of destruction across the whole building, but this appears that it's scattered throughout.
Mm.
I definitely have a bad feeling about this, though.
Yeah. something ain't right. And I'm gonna start unbuckling Jenkins, and I'm gonna say, Chang, Ramirez, get stand up and get to the doors. We'll step out first, make a perimeter around the ship. Johnson, can you take us down to what looks like something that's habitable? See those lights down there?
Yes, sir, Sergeant. I see them, and I will take you there.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna.
I was
Sorry,
just going to
what?
say, he begins to
Yeah.
change course towards that area.
Okay, I'm gonna try and shake Jenkins awake.
After about 30, 45 seconds of shaking him, giving him some light slaps, he suddenly... Oh, what happened?
He
What
passed
happened?
out, and I kind of like pull him up to his feet. Listen, kid, I get it. It's your first deployment. You're scared, but you can't be pulling that, all right?
Okay, yeah.
Something's wrong down there. Something attacked the station. It's our job to protect these people and get whoever may be there out, all right?
Yes, sir.
And I kind of like push his rifle into his chest. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna stick with me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put your
And-
helmet on.
Yeah, he reaches down and grabs his helmet, kind of shakes himself. All right, that was the worst part. It's all right.
Yep.
I'm good now. I'm good.
Yep,
I got
that's
this.
exactly right. I'm just gonna make sure my gun is loaded and ready, and I'm gonna stand by the door. Is this like a ship that has two like cargo doors on either side that people can like exit out of, or is there one like drop down ramp?
There are cargo doors, but
Yep.
the ramp is the main point of
Okay.
entrance and evac.
Okay, so then me and my fire team will go stand at the ready there. So when the ramp goes down, we will walk down, guns ready, and assess any danger before anybody else comes off. And I'll relay that to everybody else.
And you, Ramirez, Jenkins, and Chang all do.
Sorry.
What is going on, dude? I'm back.
You're back.
Ramirez, Jenkins, and Chang all check their weapons, make sure they have one in the chamber,
Mhm.
and are primed and ready to go as soon as this ramp drops.
Okay.
And you all come in to this area that is the landing bay for these types of spacecraft. And Johnson says, we're gonna be landing in 5 seconds. And he counts down 5, 4, 3, and you hear as the ship comes down and lands, and the ramp drops down.
Okay. I'll walk down it, like almost keeping pace with the ramp as it goes down. So I'm nearly touching the surface right when the ramp does. With my gun shouldered and ready, eyes on the horizon. I want to see if there's any immediate threats.
Okay, make an observation check.
Hopefully, I'll do a little better this time. Nope.
Hold on, I might have to. Let me see. Oh, never mind. Okay. You don't see anything immediately.
Okay.
You just see dust blowing around. There is some containers for goods and other materials scattered about this landing area. Surprisingly, for as desolate and barren as this planet is, the air is pretty breathable, even though it is mixed with copious amounts of dust and other planet material. It's pretty easy to breathe, but on the immediate scan around, you don't see any signs of life.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, as we're kind of packing up, I'm gonna turn to my team, and now we all know why we're here. We need to figure out what it is that happened here, at this facility and make sure that it doesn't happen again. So you all know your posts. You all know why each of you has been chosen. Do your job.
And they all give you a nod. And Caleb speaks up. Yeah, we'll be right behind you. Whatever you need, you let us know.
Thank you.
As you all begin to come off of this spacecraft, Reyes, you're the first one to notice this. You see the entranceway is lit up. There's 2 lights shining down on it. No signs of life around, but you can clearly see where it is that you need to go to enter this facility.
Okay.
It's about 200 feet away.
All right. I look at Ramirez and I nod towards the door. Having him and Chang go check it while we watch their 6. And cover the exit of the other personnel, essentially.
Okay, and he does. He makes his way over, clearing behind cargo and other machinery that's on this landing bay. And he makes his way over to the door, checks the little access area, types in a code that is pretty standard for all of your guys' facilities, and the doors open.
Okay.
Looks all clear, sir.
All right, you wait there. Doc.
Yeah.
Wrong Doc.
No, I was just about to ask him too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, Doc?
Yeah, you're the medic, so you're Doc.
Am I? Oh, that I forgot that I have training in being a medic. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I forgot. I thought I was mostly computer hacky stuff, but
You're like a mix of both.
yeah. Okay.
Doc.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna find in there, but just be ready, all right?
I have my lucky scalpel right here.
Okay.
Have you ever actually used that thing?
Obviously not. That's why it's so lucky.
All right. Well, hopefully.
Scalpel before, but I've never had to use this scalpel because it's lucky.
All right. Well, hopefully, if
I
push
should-
comes to shove, you will do what is necessary. As I kind of questionably glance up and down this little scalpel that he's holding.
Yeah, I should have glanced your way. What's your character's name, Tyson?
I'm Marcus,
Marcus.
or Dr.
Marcus.
Thompson.
Dr. Thompson. I kind of shoot like a wary glance at you, and then move towards the doorway and catch up with Ramirez and Chang.
As you all, the Marines leading the way, approach these doors, you can see in front of you a long, long hallway with many offshoots of rooms and different, whatever they may be. And even though there are occasional lights, the majority of them are either broken or flashing, stuttering in and out. And there is just a creepy, eerie feeling. And you don't hear or see anyone in sight.
And it's just a straight hallway in front of us. There's nothing that goes right or left.
There are doorways.
Right, but not
Some
a
of them-
hallway.
Not a hallway. Not
Okay.
you can see down the way, probably I'd say 170 feet. You can see lights coming from opposite directions. So you
Gotcha.
can tell that there is a cross up ahead.
Okay. I'll turn on the flashlight at the end of my plasma rifle And I will slowly walk forward. Is there anything on the ground? Is there like debris on the ground, or is it clean?
The first 100 feet is pretty clean. And as you pass that 100-foot mark, you begin to see that some of these doors leading into the adjacent rooms are off kilter. Some of the doors are closing halfway and reopening, and closing halfway and reopening. And you begin to see more and more scattered debris, material, tools, clothing, all about the area.
As we are going down the hallway, I think we would be checking the doors as we go.
Okay.
Just 2 men per room, essentially.
Okay. Most of them are holding areas for importing cargo, as well as occasional things that are, machinery, tools that have broken down to be either sent back or scrapped. Most of the rooms are unremarkable.
Okay.
And all clear. You don't see any signs of life in any of the rooms. As you approach this intersection, you see on the corner that there is a sign that an arrow pointing straight down the hallway to the command center.
Okay.
You see one pointing to the left for living quarters and one pointing to the right to the mess hall.
Okay. I'll turn around to the group and I'll say, all right. Me and Johnson will go to the command center. Doc, you can come with us. I'm sure there's some computers for you to diagnose down there. Ramirez, Chang, you go to living quarters. Marcus, Dr. Marcus, you,
It's Dr.
You go-
Thompson.
sorry, Dr. Thompson. Thompson, your people are free to do what they need to do, but I suggest you go with either myself or Ramirez.
I believe that we will be going to the mess hall.
Alrighty then.
That appears to be, hopefully, where we can get some more information on what is going on here.
Alright then.
First time DMing, let's do a 3-way split.
Hey, no,
so-
Johnson's
No,
coming with.
Yeah,
Doc's
we're all
coming with me.
going.
It's a 2-way split.
We're all going the same
Two-way
way,
split.
except for
Ramirez
Oh.
and Jenkins.
just some NPCs.
Oh, so you're going to the command center then,
No, there's the mess hall and the living quarters.
and then the command.
And the
center.
command center.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the command center.
It's a
Yeah,
it's
I
a
said I'm going.
crossroad.
Yeah, I said I'm going to the
Oh.
command center. Yeah.
Oh,
So
then
left-
I'd go
Left living quarters, right mess hall, straight ahead
Straight
command
ahead.
center.
Oh, then I'd go to the command center as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I do believe we should circle around to the mess hall that has been known to house large numbers of people, and kind of looking around if there's anything going on here. That would be where I would go.
I agree.
Yeah,
Ramirez.
Peckish anyway. I could go for a BLT right now.
Ramirez, channel 6.
Yes, sir. And he takes his radio, switches it to channel 6.
I switched mine too.
And if you remember, your guys' communications are working fine on a local level, but you have
Yeah.
not been able to get any communication through to anyone here. Okay, so Ramirez and Jenkins take a left, start heading towards the living quarters, and you all continue straight towards the command center. As you travel maybe another 75 feet, there is a flight of stairs in front of you. You begin to climb up these stairs, and the closer and closer that you get to the center of this facility, the more and more disheveled and broken it appears to be. There is windows that are broken. There is spent casings scattered about the floor. And you ascend these stairs. And at the top of the stairs,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Can I tell can I determine what weapon these spent casings came from?
These came from an M4 1A pulse rifle.
Okay.
Same one that's standard issue for all the Colonial Marines.
Okay.
As you get to the top of these stairs, what's the marching order? I'm assuming that Marines first.
Yeah, well, I'll go first for sure.
Okay.
I'll probably have Jenkins just right behind me. So us two will be first.
I would definitely try to stick my team as close to the center as possible.
Okay.
Close to the Marines, but not too close as to get in their way.
I can stick to the back.
As you crest over the top of these stairs, Reyes, you see utter chaos. You see blood trails all over the floor. You see ventilation shaft openings that are busted through. You see melted steel all about you. But you see no bodies anywhere. It is simply the aftermath of some chaotic event, and it feels as if someone came through and cleaned it all up.
What could have done something like this?
Ryan. And I kind of gesture over to some of the debris, and I would like him to kind of go and start taking some samples of various things.
Okay. He walks over and he pulls out his little kit, his research kit, and begins swabbing different materials. The melted steel, he pulls out his little cotton swab and swabs it on there, puts it in a tube, caps it, and just begins to do evidence collection, essentially.
Can I look at Dr. Thompson and see if there is a look of shock on his face, or if this is like a look of expectation of like he's seen this before?
Yes. Make a...
Like that. I'm trying to determine if this is a surprise to him or not.
Okay.
Can I just answer the question for him?
Sure.
You see the look of someone who has experienced a lot, kind of a stone face, but someone who is intrigued by the situation that is going on and for the science that could be from it. As we are there to do that. Like, figure out what's going on, right? So you don't necessarily see like, oh, I knew that this was coming in his face, but it's like he knows his job.
Yeah.
Colonel, is there a reason why you are staring?
No. Thought I saw something. Hey, Doc. Why don't you stick one of your cables in a terminal and see if we can't pull up some video, see what might have happened here.
I'd kind of nudge Dr. Carter. I believe he's speaking to you.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. I was zoned out a little bit.
That's all right. No
Wait, say it
worries.
in character.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, sorry. Kind of zoned out. Thinking about something.
Yeah. I could see that.
What can I do for you?
Try and stay focused. I said, why don't you put one of your electrical doodads in a port over there and see if we can't pull up a video of what might have happened.
Should be easy enough. I'll
Try not,
take.
as you go over, I say, and try not to zone out.
You got it. Important stuff. I take my craft seriously.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll a comm tech. And you got a success.
Oh, baby.
Okay. So you see before you typical terminal. You walk up to it, you've done this thousands of times. You pull out your wires, plug them in, pull out your little pad, plug it in, throw up some programming, and sure enough, after about 30 seconds, a video pops up. As you all gather around, I would say the three of you, your helpers are kind of just there, but the three of you gather around, and you see that the last security footage from this area pulls up. And the first thing that you notice is the distant screams and yells that sounds almost like a thunderous roar from so many people yelling and screaming at the same time. You see people running as fast as they can towards the command center. You see, after about 20 people run past this camera, knocking things over, pushing each other out of the way. One guy falls down, and everybody just keeps running, trampling him, leaving him there. You see two Marines run forward behind everybody, yelling, "Go, go, go! Nobody stop! Don't stop!" One of them continues to run, and you see the other Marine reach onto his vest, pull a grenade, take the pin, throw it towards and this camera angle is pointing right towards the top of the stairs. And right as he throws it and begins to run the opposite direction, you see a shadowy figure sprinting up the stairs faster than anything you've ever seen. And right as it gets to the top,
pause it.
he pauses it.
Pause it.
I'm imagining like when they pause it in the movies that it's like this fuzzy, like
Yeah.
almost vibrating-esque picture.
Yep. 100%.
A little bit of static in there.
What is that?
I have no idea. Is it by like what does this shape look like in the paused form? Is it like bipedal? Does it have 4 legs? Does it look humanoid?
It looks bipedal.
Okay.
It's really hard to make out its exact form, as it is just cresting up the stairs, and it's pretty shadowy. You can tell throughout the security footage at this point that there's already been electrical issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
but you can't make out exact details. It looks bipedal, looks humanoid. That's about all you can tell.
You can't make this image any better.
I go, enhance, and I click a button. Does it do anything?
No. But there's a little program that pops up on your tablet that says enhance, and it zooms in closer, and it's just worse. It's just
Fuzzy.
worse. It's
It's
just
so
fuzzy.
fuzzy.
It just looks like a shadow.
Oh my gosh.
That usually works. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. Zoom out. Let's see what happens for the rest.
I'll zoom out.
You zoom out, resume the video, and right maybe a second after you resume it, you hear the grenade go off, and there is about 5 seconds of additional audio where you hear sizzling.
I want to look in the direction of where the video was to see where the grenade went off.
Very
What do I
easy to
see?
tell.
Yeah,
So
what do I see?
you can see the impact area of where the detonation happened.
Right.
You can see charring all around that area, and just at the top of the stairs, in the little area, the ceiling and the walls coming up the stairs, you see that entire area is just melted. It looks almost like I don't know. It just looks melted. It doesn't look like
It looks
something
corroded.
corroded, exactly.
Is that
My,
typical for your
no.
standard hand grenades?
Nope.
And I'm going to look over my shoulder at Ryan and kind of point towards the weirdness of it and be like, go check that out.
And he does. He goes over and begins to look around the area. And the odd thing is that, well, nope. He begins to check it out and looks at it and he says, this looks like chemical burns or something. Are you sure this isn't just some type of new technology for the military? I mean, this is to corrode this stuff that's powerful.
You greatly overestimate the investment the colonies have in us Marines. I'm not gonna lie, grenades are powerful. I like them a lot. I've used them many times, but you got two types. You got the proton energy, which, from my understanding, is mainly a concussive force. And you've got the high explosive, neither of which should corrode metal like that.
Maybe they burst a pipe or something. Could there be some sort of chemical flowing through this place that could do this?
I could check the command, see if they have any chemicals on board.
And I'll look in the area of the stairwell to see if there is a pipe or something that is burst that made it look like it spilled chemicals.
Okay. Make an observation check for me.
Yay, nothing as usual.
You do see. I mean,
Now,
see
why are
many
you making
broken pipes.
observations?
Because I'm the one
He keeps
asking to look
he
at
keeps
stuff.
asking. You see many broken pipes. You
Yeah.
see much destruction. You have no idea, though.
Fair enough.
Ryan pipes up and he says, I mean, I guess it's possible that they could have been, transporting some type of corrosive I don't know, chemicals through pipes, but I just don't see him doing that through a main living area like this or a main corridor.
Interesting. Well, I guess we will keep our eyes open. Dr. Carter,
Yeah.
is there any other more of that footage, or just that static noise at the end?
I can do a check. I'd like to look around, see if there's any more, any other video feeds that I could get my hands on from other parts of the ship, as well as this video clip.
Okay. For this particular area, there is no more video or audio.
No, and would this
Just
have access to other security cameras?
make another comtech check for me.
Okay, I got a 5 and a 4.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Here, I'll roll that.
Thanks.
Wow.
Wow, you.
You got 3 success.
Yes. Very, very easily you pull up other footage from the. What are you looking for?
Well, there's a lot of things that I'd like to look for,
Okay.
but with that specific check, I was definitely looking for security cameras where I can see some kind of like pandemonium going on, so we can get a better read on what's actually going on. You know what I mean? Like looking for flashes from. Oh, okay, it gave me a thumbs up.
The computer thinks you're doing something good.
Wow, that was.
Yeah,
That
you're
is a
pulling
good
the-
idea.
The videos and the computer is like boop boop.
Great job.
Yep.
They're nice.
Very
so-
nice.
I'm looking for like flashes of light from like muzzle flashes of like people firing a rifle or a gun, any kind of signs of people running, explosions.
As you are sifting through all of these different videos, and it takes you a good 5 minutes, 6 minutes to find what you're looking for, as there is many security cameras in this area. You find one that is leading farther towards the command center, and you recognize that it's the same group of individuals. And as everybody is running, you see that there is one guy in the back, and as he is running down the hallway, he turns around as he hears a scream, and he looks back, and he turns ghost white. And just then, you see above him some sort of sludge or goop drip down onto his shoulder. And he reaches down and touches it, rubs his fingers together, and then slowly looks up above him, just as 2 black hands reach down from the ceiling, impaling his neck, and pull him off his feet up into the ventilation shaft.
Right when I see that, I'm gonna radio Ramirez. I'm gonna say, Ramirez Chang, get to
Yes,
command
sir.
right. Get to command right now.
Roger that. You want us to just head out of here? It's
Yeah, beat feet.
Yes, sir. And yeah.
I'm gonna look at the nearest open ventilation shaft and shine my flashlight in it and see if there's anything in there.
Hey, you come underneath this ventilation shaft that is broken. It's been busted out from the inside. As you can see the cover of it laying on the ground. And you look up in there, and you don't notice too much. Nothing sitting there waiting for you.
whatever this is. I think it was using this to move around the facility.
They're in the walls. They're in the walls.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and I want to rewatch the videos of the group of people, the one where they ran through the command center, and then the other one that we just watched. And I'm gonna ask Dr. Carter if he can just scrub through the group of people as they run, and I want to see if I recognize anybody in that group.
Hmm.
In my group?
Interesting.
In the group in the video.
Oh,
I'm looking for someone in particular.
oh, secret.
Okay. You do.
Okay.
You recognize somebody
All right. Which direction were they headed?
towards the command center.
So the first video is towards the command center. What about the second video?
The second video is just outside of the command center.
Gotcha. Can you pull up any more videos? Can you pull up anything showing where these people went? Because obviously they're not here.
I would love to try to find a map of the area.
Okay. I'll say with how the last roll that you did with the 3 successes, it's easy enough to pull up a map. I don't have one uploaded, but you just tell me what you guys are looking for, and you guys know how to get there.
Cool.
As long as the pathways are all intact.
Yeah.
Unless you want to venture out into the planet. Go for it.
The desolate.
Is there any like obvious destination through the command center from whichever direction they were headed from? Does
As
that make sense?
in...
Like where I'm trying to determine if they were running to the command center and like that's where they were heading, or if they were running through the command center to like an armory or a bunker or a safe room. Does that make sense?
Yeah, hard to tell. You can tell that from that second video, the camera angle is on one of the entrances to the command center.
Okay.
Where you're unsure whether they were heading to the command center or passing through is the command center is like a giant hub. It
Gotcha.
is the center crux of this entire facility. So everything from there, everything is accessible. It is the center of all of this.
And so on this map, what do we see? We know where the living quarters is, we know where storage is, and we know where the mess hall is. What about the other side?
Okay, so the first 2 wings, you have the landing bay where you guys landed.
Yeah.
You have living quarters, which takes
Okay.
up pretty much the majority of the left section.
Okay.
There is the mess hall, infirmary on the opposite side of the living quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the command center. From the command center, if you're looking at it from a northeast southwest, so living quarters, mess hall, all that is on the south.
Mm-hmm.
Command center's in the center.
Mm-hmm.
To the north is a research facility.
Mm-hmm.
To the left is the armory and munitions, as well as the storage for vehicles and other such transports as teams go out to do research in the facilities. And then on the right, there is a whole nother wing that is attached through the research facility, but there is no labeling of what that is at all. It's just, you can tell it's another wing that you have to go through the research facility to get to, but that's it.
Okay.
Well, I believe that we should make our way to the command center and then possibly the research center. It might prove on giving us answers as to what is going on here.
We're in the command center now, right?
You are just outside of it.
Okay.
You just
I thought
crested
we
the
were
top
in
of
it.
the stairs. Nope, you guys are
Gotcha.
still just at the top of the stairs, and you know that if you just continue straight, you're gonna head there. And still
Oh,
there's
this whole time I thought we were already in there. All right, that makes a big difference.
no.
Yeah. Command center first.
Agreed.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope. I was gonna say I'd prefer if we wait for my two Marines just in case.
And as you say that, you hear boots hitting the ground as Ramirez and Chang, I mean, they're hustling up those stairs. They're
Good.
running. And Ramirez turns to you. Sarge, I'll be amazed if anybody's alive on this facility.
I agree.
mean, you should have seen the living quarters. It was
I believe you. Let's see if there is anybody and get them out if there is. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And you can
There's
tell
something-
that even though he is a little scared, there's a
Yeah.
determination in his face.
Now listen. There's something here with us. We don't know what it is. We think it's using the vent shafts. So keep an ear out and an eye out. All right.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Okay. I'll stand ready. Is the doors to the command center closed?
They look like they were closed part of the way.
Okay.
And then, sorry. It looks as if they closed most of the way. There's about a foot gap. But then in the center, where the doors are, you can see that the metal has been peeled back. The steel doors have been peeled back, and there is a hole maybe about 4.5, 5 feet wide. So the steel is ripped back a good 2 feet on each side.
Okay. I'll go into the command center.
Okay. As you make your way through this door, you going left, Ramirez taking the right, Jenkins following you, and Chang behind Ramirez, you begin to clear the command center. And as opposed to the other areas that had some lighting, this area appears to be pitch black, except for a singular red light in the center. There's the occasional sparks and flickers from the control boards scattered all about the room, and it is disheveled. Chairs knocked over, screens broken, more blood trails, but still no bodies.
Are the blood trails leading to somewhere specific, or is it just kind of random?
Make a survival check.
Ooh.
You'll be able to. You'll get something regardless, because you've been in enough combat and seen enough blood. I just want to know how much.
Survival.
It's okay. One of these times you'll succeed.
Someday.
You can see that there are different types of blood trails. You can see there's arterial spray of thick, heavy pools of blood, as well as trails of people being dragged. You can see the long, wide streaks. A lot of them appear to be random. You can see a couple big pools of blood underneath a ventilation shaft. But it doesn't look as if there's a specific rhyme or reason. Can't tell a specific area that they're going to.
Also, just want to clarify that I have kept my helmet on, even though it's easy to breathe, even though it's clean air.
Okay.
And I would have instructed my Marines to do the same, like face, like glass visor and everything.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to try and do? This is the heart of the beast. So anything you guys are going to try to do regarding any of the other areas or any type of systems, this is where it's at.
Well, if we've got all the information that we need, should we head to the research facility? Unless, Dr. Carter, I believe that this is your, as I kind of gesture to the broken machinery, expertise. If there's anything you would like to do, otherwise I would like to continue onward. I don't want to spend more time in here than is necessary.
Yeah, that's fine.
You, Tyson, you and your guys are armed, right?
I believe so.
I think
Okay.
not like heavily.
No, but I mean, you guys like have pistols and whatnot. Maybe. You can say no.
I think I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
I don't know.
about-
What would you say, Connor? Would I at least have something or no? Doesn't say in my inventory.
Doesn't say in your inventory.
I would say
Well,
I was gonna say I think you would at
I would
least have a
have-
pistol,
yeah, that's kind of what I was
As
thinking.
well-
But
as well as you, Ethan.
Perfect.
I think
That
you guys would both have pistols. I imagine, Reyes, that you would have probably grabbed a couple extra for the leads.
yeah. I'm gonna say, Dr. Thompson, I understand your desire to make it there to the research facility. I'd feel more comfortable if we had a little more firepower on our side. Why don't we stop by the armory and scrounge any firearms or ordnance we can, and we can move on to the research.
all right, that sounds reasonable. As long as they all haven't been taken, seeing that the previous Marines had some sort of weaponry on them. But better safe than sorry.
All right, well,
Where is the
Uh,
armory located? Is it so from the command center?
Mhm.
It's in the opposite
You're like-
direction of the research, or is it
Research.
in the same?
So, if north south compass,
Mm-hmm.
research is in the center. If you continue north, which is how you entered the command center, you will reach the research facility. Then, if you headed east, you would get to the other wing. If you go in a northwest direction,
you'd hit the armory.
you'd hit the armory, loading bays, transportations, that type of thing.
Okay.
Dr. Carter, do you think you can turn any more lights on in this place?
Yeah, I could do that. Or at least dry. I'll look and see if there's any interfaces around that can turn some more lights on.
Okay. You easily enough spot the main command center for lighting controls, ventilation, that type of thing. I'm gonna roll a CommTech check for you, and nothing. As much as you try, the system seems to be either locking you out, popping up with continuous error codes. It seems there's not too much controls that you're able to accomplish from here. If you want, you can push the roll.
What happens if I push the roll? What
It's
does
like
that mean?
it's like a stress dice.
Oh,
So you can try and succeed again, but if you fail, then it can be something bad.
if it's just for the lights, I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the armory.
Armory first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you begin to leave the command center and head towards the armory, you descend down a flight of stairs. And as you are all about halfway down the stairs, you hear down the hallway a distant scream of a woman.
Okay.
Just emanating from that area.
Where we're headed to.
Yes.
Okay. I look at my Marines. We're gonna pick the pace up, but we're not gonna sprint. We're just gonna we're still
Okay.
walking cautiously, but a little quicker.
Okay. And as you do so, there is just the continual gore and disaster of a facility.
It doesn't get.
contin-
It's not worse than the command center, but much the same.
Much the same.
Okay.
Much the same. In fact, the command center was probably worse than this, so it's probably even a little bit less. But there's still just the absolute disorganization of everything. And as you make your way down this hallway, you again hear a scream, and you hear a woman, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And you can tell it's coming from about 2 doors down from where you are.
Okay. I'll nod at Ramirez, and we'll get ready to make our entrance and see what we see.
Hey, as you come around this doorway, clearing the room, the first thing that you notice as you step inside is that you step into a pool of blood.
Okay.
And unlike the other areas, there are bodies in here. There are 4 bodies, and they are mutilated. Not in the sense of combat that you have seen, whether it be gunshot wounds or knife slashings, but torn apart is the best way that I can explain it. And you see sitting in the back of the room, underneath a shelf, a woman rocking back and forth, wide-eyed, looking around the room. And as you enter the room, she goes, "Oh my gosh, please help me. Please help me." And she begins to crawl towards you.
Okay. What's your name?
"Julia. Please help me. It's gonna come back.
What's gonna come back?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've only got glimpses, but it came in, and she glances around at all the bodies. They're all dead.
Don't worry. Don't look at those.
All dead. We're all gonna be dead.
No. We're good. We're all right. I got someone I want you to meet. Hey, Doc.
Yeah. I don't know if you're talking to me or.
Yeah, I am. You're Doc.
Okay, cool.
Tyson's lab coat. Sorry, Tyson.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All-
We found somebody.
Okay,
We
let
wanna.
me do a screening. Make sure everything checks out.
I look at her and I say, "Don't worry, you're in good hands."
Oh yeah.
Absolutely lying. Yeah.
I take out a flashlight and I start shining it in her eyes to see if they're dilating, check her stress levels, do some medical stuff.
You can tell that she is in utter shock. She is on the verge of derangement. She is wide-eyed, terrified, shaking uncontrollably. You can see that her makeup is a complete mess and she is covered in matter, blood, and other sorts. Ethan, as you walk into this room, you, having some medical training, you have seen cadavers, you've seen, procedures happen, but the utter inhumane scene that you see in this room is something you have never seen before. And I'm going to add a stress point to you as you see this. Reyes, I want you to roll.
Okay.
What do I want you to roll? Okay, roll an empathy check.
Hmm.
Okay. I didn't want you to succeed on anything.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds,
No,
I
it's
didn't. I
fine.
wanted to see like if you were able to disassociate from what you were seeing.
Yeah. No, that makes
Okay,
sense.
Carter, you see this woman as you approach her and begin to shine the light in her eyes. She keeps glancing over her shoulders and kind of getting closer and closer to you. Please, we need to go. We need to get out of here. Please.
Okay. Calm down. Why do we have to go?
You don't understand. They don't stop coming. Whatever they are, they just kept grabbing people. They kept taking people.
How many of them are there?
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know what they are. I've never seen. And you can see her eyes get wider and she begins to clench her fists really hard. I've never seen anything like them. And she bursts out into tears.
Can
Okay.
while all of this is going on, can I take a closer look at the bodies?
Mm-hmm.
Bodies.
Make me... Make an observation check. I don't know why you have a stress dice. You shouldn't have a stress dice. I got rid of it for you. Okay. Yes. So there are 4 of these bodies that seem to have been ripped apart, torn apart. There's bruising all over their skin. One of the bodies, though, however, interests you very much. You see that although there is bruising, there are cuts and scrapes, that in the center of the chest, all of the ribs and flesh are bent outwards, as if something came through, and you begin to take this body and you roll it over, and you can tell from what looks like someone being impaled up against something. However, on the back there is no
There's no like enter wound.
there is just
an exit.
an exit.
Interesting.
Just an exit.
This is quite interesting. Colonel.
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
This body. And I'll kind of wait till you come closer, so I talk
Yeah.
a little quiet so that this woman doesn't have to hear all of this.
Mm-hmm.
This body has no entering wound. It's just what appears to be an exit wound.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen a weapon do anything like this?
And I, not that I don't trust Dr. Thompson, but more of like a, well, I'll be the judge of that, so to speak. Like, kind of roll
Kind
the
of roll it
body.
over to see.
Yeah, to make sure that there's not an entrance wound on the back.
Yeah.
Like, almost like what an
Like, come
amateur.
on,
You
come
know,
on.
yeah, you know, and then to my surprise, there isn't one. I kind of roll it back and I go, nothing that I know of. Not unless they swallowed something that would have exploded. But even then, as I examine the back, if that were the case, the whole torso, I gotta get a good accent, sorry. If that were the case, the whole torso would have been ripped apart, not just the front.
Well, it is quite interesting. I
Indeed.
would be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued with all of this.
I kind of look over my shoulder at Dr. Carter, who's taking care of Julia, and I lean in and I look at Dr. Thompson in the eyes. And I say, you tell me right now, what do you know about this place? What were they researching?
That's why I want to get to the research lab. I have questions. I need answers.
Questions about what? What did you know before we showed up here?
I was briefed, same as you.
And I narrow my eyes. And I get up and I look at Dr. Carter. Can she move?
Hey, can you move?
Reyes, as you ask Carter this, Julia glances over, sees the body that you guys were looking at. It came out of him.
What?
What came out of him? What did it look like?
I don't know. It's like a slimy rat. Like a hairless cat. I don't know what it was.
Where did it go?
He just ran off. It just ran off. She kind of motions towards the door.
Out the door or through the vents? Where was it?
I don't know. It just went through the door, and then I've just been here.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. You're safe now. Let's go see if there's anywhere else or anyone else.
And as you kind of all help her up, she's very shaky, but she can move.
Let's move on to the armory.
Okay.
Carefully.
As you continue down this hallway towards the armory in a northwest direction, you feel like you hear something aside from the continuous creaking of metal and buzzing of electrical shorts and the overall thumb of the whole terraforming facility. You hear clinking, tapping
What coming from where?
above you.
I stop everybody and look at my fire team and slowly, like, nod upwards as I switch the laser on to my gun.
Okay.
Not that like a laser, like bzzz, cutting laser, but like a red dot, like a laser dot, you know.
I
We
pull
have
up my
lightsaber-
lightsaber.
Nets.
Lightsaber
Attach it onto
gun.
my.
Lightsaber bayonets would be crazy. No, I mean on one side of my one side of the end of my rifle is a flashlight, and then at the other side is a laser dot.
Yep. Okay, as you flip it
I
on,
point it
you
up to
hear
the.
you hear more scurrying. You hear more footfalls. And you can tell it's coming from the ventilation shafts. And you can see as you point your gun up towards the ceiling and you kind of listen and track the sound, you can see that maybe 10 feet from you there is a ventilation shaft opening.
I fix my laser sight onto it as three others sort of go, and I flip the safety off. And I say to my Marines, don't shoot until we see it. Can't afford to miss this one.
Are you guys moving towards the ventilation shaft?
Nope.
Okay. You're just waiting.
I would kind of lean to my team and also Dr. Carter and say, I don't think we should go to the armory. As it's in the direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there a piece of debris, something I could like heavy enough I could throw underneath where the ventilation shaft is?
Lenny.
Okay. I'm gonna rifle still up there, not even looking, slowly reach down and pick up a hefty chunk of metal and just throw it under where the ventilation shaft is.
Okay. You reach down and pick it up, throw it. It lands with a loud thud, rolls. No reaction. No scurrying.
She said that it was small. There's no way that it could have. It has to still be small. It's too soon.
What's too soon?
As I'm kind of just like mumbling under my breath.
Yeah. I think this whole place has sort of pushed the limits of reality. As I start backing up slowly, step by step, eyes affixed to the opening in the ventilation shaft. Let's head to research.
Agreed. And I'm gonna glance over at Julia. What is she doing at this time?
She is in the back of you all, and she is just anxiously looking everywhere, sporadically. She is looking in every single direction that she possibly can. She looks down the hallway to the left. She looks down the hallway to the right. She looks behind her. Even though she's up against a wall, she keeps glancing up and down the wall. And she's looking at every entrance and opening. She is just sporadically, continuously looking.
Does she look like flighty? Does she look like she would run at any moment?
Easily. Very much so.
I kind of snap it, like look at Dr. Carter and I say, whatever you got to do, keep her from running away.
I'll do that.
She doesn't even seem to acknowledge or hear anything that you guys are talking about. As you all begin to back up down this corridor from where you came from, I'll say that Chang is the last one to be coming down. And as you're about 20 feet from that ventilation shaft where you heard that scurrying, you hear a hiss, and then you see, jumping down out of this ventilation shaft, a black and white striped cat. And it lands on its feet, and it looks back towards the vent, and its ears push back, and it lets out a hiss as it then starts to walk farther down the armory and away from the ventilation shaft. And Chang turns you all. Sorry, it was a cat. It was only a cat. Why are you smiling at me like that?
What
That's
happens
all he
next?
says.
Yeah,
Nothing.
he doesn't get.
He just says it was a cat.
snatched.
No.
Yeah, but what was the cat hissing at Chang?
And as you say that, his grin drops from his face, and he turns back around and looks at the ventilation shaft. Hey, you make a good point. What was it hissing at?
Let's not wait here to find out.
Hey, so are you all making your way to where?
We're gonna go back to command and then loop up to
The research lab.
research. Yeah. I'll have Chang and Ramirez go, like, it's gonna be a marine sandwich. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait. I'm gonna basically be in between where we just came from, where the cat was, and the group. And then I'll have Ramirez and Chang lead the group the other direction, on through to research.
So you guys easily enough make your way back through the command center.
Before we
And
get by the command center, I'd like to ask Dr. Thompson a question, just in case he knows. And if he doesn't know, I'd like to look for it at the command center. Dr. Thompson, would you happen to know if they have any X-ray equipment on the site?
I mean,
The kind of
Good.
medical.
there was the med bay over by the living quarters. They might have something there. Do you have anything in mind?
Possibly. I'm getting a little suspicious, a little hankering in the back of my mind. Makes me think that maybe we should check the girl out further. You know what I mean?
All right.
There's so much that I can do in the field.
you would know, the infirmary definitely would have an X-ray machine. There is a chance as well that the research facility would have one.
Okay. All right.
So it's
If-
basically
if we're-
up to you guys.
We're already headed to the research facility, right?
Yeah.
let's go there. I'm fine with that. But I
Okay.
would like I want to see if there's anything inside this chick. Pretty much, anything going.
Hey.
Hey, Julia.
Yeah.
I know Dr. Carter kind of flashed a flashlight in your eyes. That was kind of all that he did. Is it okay if we pat you down to make sure you're not injured in any other way? It's hard to tell based on your clothes whether or not this is your blood or others exclusively.
Yeah.
As I kind of shoot a glance at Dr. Carter, which is like, hey, maybe you can like press her abdomen or something to see if there's something in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fine.
All right. Is she wearing a lab coat? What is she dressed with?
Oh, good question.
She's just wearing casual clothes.
Okay.
T-shirt, pants, boots.
If you don't mind just lifting your shirt up a little bit, just so we can see your stomach and make sure that you're not injured there in any way.
I just need to make sure that no organs are ruptured or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of just pulls it up so you can see her stomach, and there is some bruising, but nothing that's abnormal. As you continue this, she's showing you her arms, her legs. You get up to her neck, and you notice around her neck, she has a bruise that looks as if it's almost coiled around her neck. It starts at one area, it goes up, and then you can see that as it comes back around, it's higher than it was previously.
Julia, what is this injury from? Someone try to strangle you?
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. The past few days have been a blur. I don't know. I don't know what or if anything did.
What do you mean anything? What does that mean, Julia? I'm a doctor.
It's everything's hazy. The past few days have just been a blur.
We've seen everything else. Can we take a look at your back, make sure you don't have any broken ribs back there or anything?
Yeah. And she shows you, and kind of the same thing as her stomach. There's some bruising. No cuts or, aside from little nicks, stuff that you would get from running around, you don't see any large lacerations. She looks in pretty good condition compared to some of these, especially the other people that you saw in that room.
That's fair.
I hope that's helpful.
That was great. You did.
It is, thank you.
When are we going to go?
Right now, we're moving. We're moving.
Okay.
Dr. Carter, maybe
Yes,
the
Doc.
facilities on the ship would be more in tune to treat her than the broken ones here.
I see.
If she can wait, I think it's best if we don't split up.
All right.
I do think we should find out what happened here first, but before we risk any kind of risk to the ship.
Agreed.
Do some more tests while we're here.
So are you guys continuing on to the research facility?
Yes.
Okay. So you go back up the flight of stairs.
Yep.
Enter the
Carefully.
command center.
Yep, carefully.
Looks the same as before. You're checking all the corners. You're not hearing anything.
Okay.
You see the stairway that leads down to the research facility. And you
Okay.
begin to head down. The research facility looks better off than a lot of these other areas. There is still things scattered about, but not as much blood trails, broken glass. It seems to be in better condition. As you all get closer to the doorways leading into the research facility, you walk up, put in the code, Reyes, and the screen pops up, access denied.
That's not right. I punch it in again.
Access denied.
What the? I kind of hit it and I punch it again.
Let me try
Same
something.
thing.
And I'm gonna go in and see if my code works.
Okay, you punch in your code. Access granted, and the doors open up. Inside, you see the most, well, what was once a pristine, top-of-the-line laboratory. There is every piece of machinery that you could ever ask for researching anything. You see stations lined up everywhere. And on one of the walls to your right, you see rows and rows of containers, like massive pickle jars. And inside of them, you see all sorts of different organisms. Some big, some small, all of them completely alien to anything that you have seen before.
I grab Dr. Thompson by the collar of his shirt and kind of push him up against the wall.
And I'd be surprised. What's going on?
You tell me, what is this place?
I told you.
No. You told me what I wanted to hear. Now you tell me what you're not telling me. You may not have lied to me, but you sure as heck ain't told me all the truth. Why'd your code work and not mine?
Because this is a research facility.
Under colony code 4619 Alpha Dash Charlie.
Yes, but
is
it all
required
belongs.
for Marine security.
It
to
all
have
belongs
access to
to the
entire-
Wayland Yutani Corp.
It
That is
doesn't
who we
matter.
work for. That is what this is. This is all company property. I work for the company. That's why my code worked. Now, if you're not going to shoot me, let me study. Let me find out what is going on here.
I kind of let him go after a breath of me just kind of staring at him.
Now, I need my space. And I'm going to kind of turn to Dr. Walker. Dr. Walker,
Yes?
if you could please look at these specimens over here. We need to know what it is that we're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Alex, I need you to look into the computer and find other research that they've had, make copies so that we can take it along with us. And Ryan,
Right away.
I need you to come with me over to the is there some kind of like I just am kind of picturing like a big table where they would do some sort of research on or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many.
Okay. Come with me over here. I need your assistance.
Right away.
As they all kind of split up. I'm gonna make my way over to Ramirez. I'm gonna say something's not right with this.
This is weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We still got a job to do, right? Should
Well,
probably clear this place out.
no plan survives contact with the enemy. As I kind of look over my shoulder at the scientists that are taking like all the stuff in the laboratory, and I say, I think we need to determine who the enemy is. Yeah. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Will do. You
And
just give the
listen.
order.
Don't worry. If any of them tries to bring anything that's not on a data stick onto the ship, well, let's just say we're not bringing any of this with us.
Roger that. And he breaks off and begins clearing under tables,
Yeah.
checking all the corners.
I'm going to turn to Julia. While
Mhm.
this is happening. Well, first off, Connor, what was my sister's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
What do you want it to be?
We'll go with Christine.
Okay.
Julia,
Yes.
what did you do here in the facility?
I worked in the infirmary
Okay.
as a nurse.
All right. So you got some health knowledge that'll be useful to get us out of here. Now, I know this facility has a lot of people, but did you ever know a Christine?
At the mention of Christine Reyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She was always really kind to me.
You know where she worked at here?
I don't remember the loading bay, maybe, like where all the transportations, where they kept all the vehicles. I think that's where she worked, if I remember.
Okay. All right. And when all this happened, did people try and congregate to where, they may have worked?
It was just chaos.
Yeah, okay. No worries. That's all right. Then I say, Jenkins, on me. Chang, you help Ramirez. And then, before I leave, I'm going to, give Ramirez a knowing look. Like, hey, any funny business, just kill the scientist, essentially, is what I'm trying to convey.
Okay.
And I'm going to go try and find a different way to the armory, see if we can't get some more firepower. And I'm going to start walking through research, not back to the hub, but see if there's a connecting hallway from research into the loading bays. The vehicle.
Hey. As you are beginning to make your way out, Julia kind of steps into the research facility. And she just lets out a scream.
Freaking
And she begins to move around the room, knocking stuff off tables, backing into shelves. and she begins to kind of just lose it. She begins to get panicked. I hear him. I hear him. Do you guys not hear that?
What?
Do you not hear that?
No, calm down. Hold on. What's going on?
And
What's going on?
You guys are all listening, and you don't hear anything. There's nothing has changed. And she
Sergeant,
begins to knock stuff off shelves.
Sergeant, get her on the table. Now.
And I'll be like, Doc, help me hold her down.
And as you go over and grab each of her arms, she doubles over. How? What's happening? What's happening to me? As she looks up to you, and she kind of lurches forward as you help her up onto the table. And all the shelves that she was backing up into, you can hear things falling off. These jars falling off and hitting the ground and shattering. The smell of formaldehyde fills the room as she lurches again as you lay her up on this table. Make it stop, please. It hurts so bad.
Doc, this is all you. Doc, what do we do?
This one might be out of my wheelhouse.
Well, you got to do something, Doc. Come on.
Can I scan the room to see if there's any X-ray equipment? Like I wanted to find out if there was in this room.
Yes, you see an X-ray machine.
Bring her over to the X-ray.
Hey, you rush her over there. You lay her down. And I'll say you're very familiar with these machines. You hurry and take an image. And what you see is everything looks normal, except for center mast. All of her organs are pushed to the side. There is a cavity of just a space, and you can see a curved head. You can see little arms sticking out, and what appears to be almost a tail coiled up inside of her in this still image. It looks as if there's like something inside of her, like a baby inside of her.
This is crazy. It looks like she's pregnant, but
Let's see it.
something's not right.
Doctor, let me see it. What is
Sure, and
happening?
I'll take the monitor and I'll swing it over to where he can see it.
And as you look at it, Julia lets out a blood-curdling scream as her chest lurches up and falls back down and lurches up one more time, and she screams, and all her arms flail out and bursting through her chest, breaking all her ribs. You see a little smooth creature that lets out a shriek as it looks around, and it began scurrying around the room.
Where is it scurrying to in relation to the table?
It jumps off the table and it just begins to run around.
Okay, I'm going to try and shoot at it, provided
Hey.
it doesn't run in front of or around anybody.
Absolutely. Make an attack with
Okay.
your your rifle.
Yeah, I would have my rifle right now. So, inventory. Yay, a success!
Perfect.
Finally.
This little creature starts running around, and with ease, you've done this many a times, you blast it, not once, not twice, but 4 times, blowing it into pieces as it's scattered about the room. And you hear a familiar sizzling sound as you look and you can see the floor melting from where this was.
With this being a research lab, are there like the best way I can describe it is a furnace, but it's like a sterilization furnace in the sense of like a glass oven that you can like blast fire or heat for whatever reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
there'd be
know the
something like
word
that.
for that machine, but it's like, for a quick, gotta heat something up. Anyway, after I kind of like shoot this apart and see the, like the acid starting to melt through the floor, I kind of look at all the scientists to see like what they are what they are doing, because I don't want them to take a sample of this, so I'm gonna hurry and try and start scooping up pieces, and I'll
So
order Reyes to do it as well.
as you kind of begin, I would actually have kind of shouted out and said, "Stop shooting! What if you wake something else up?" As I kind of gesture to these large jars holding bigger specimens. It's like, we have no idea what you could release.
Exactly. As I'm starting to like gather up these pieces, and I tell Ramirez to hurry up, and I open this furnace, and I kind of stuff all the pieces in. And I shut it, and I look at Dr. Thompson, and I say, "We don't want to wake anything else up, not even this." And
Yes.
I press the button and just incinerate what was left of it.
But let me just remind you that you are destroying company property.
Write me up then. And I look at all the Marines and I say, "All right, we're headed to Armory right now."
Ramirez and Chang run over quickly, and you see Jenkins looking underneath a table. Sarge, there's something under here.
What?
I don't know. It's like it's alive, but it doesn't look the
Get
same
out of
as
there,
what we just
Jenkins.
saw.
No, get out of there, Jenkins.
And right as he turns towards you, you see a flash of just quick movement as whatever this organism is lunges out from underneath the table, attaches onto Jenkins' helmet, and begins to melt his helmet until suddenly you see a tail coil around his neck and finger-like tendrils wrap around the front of his face. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Ah!
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being patient with me, guys. This has been a big learning curve for me.
No, this
Been
is great.
fun. And we will continue this in our next episode. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you have enjoyed this, please comment it down below. Make sure to check out our Theros campaign, Season 1, Season 2, as well as our Strahd campaign, Season 1. And as always, I've waited so long to say this. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.